Embattled U.S. Representative George Santos has clearly defied the call of top Republicans to step down from his position, as he said that he has no plans whatsoever to resign. Kevin McCarthy, who recently got elected as Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, has also said that he has no intention of pressuring Santos to relinquish his post.
Was a campaign of deceit, lies, and fabrication.
A group of senior New York Republicans have called on newly elected Congressman George Santos to resign from office after he was exposed for telling falsehoods about his career, his education, and his personal history.
Lie after lie after lie.
Nassau County Republican Committee Chairman Joseph Cairo on Wednesday told reporters that Santos is not welcome at their Republican headquarters.
His lies were not mere fibs. He disgraced the House of Representatives, and in particular, his fabrications went too far. I am calling for his immediate resignation.
But as Republicans in his home district in Nassau County urged him to step down, just days after a nonpartisan watchdog accused him of breaking campaign finance laws, Santos on Wednesday told reporters at the Capitol he is not going anywhere. Santos has admitted to fabricating much of his resume. He claimed to have worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, which was untrue. He also said he had degrees from New York University and Baruch College, despite neither institution having any record of him attending.
He's basically confessed, and he needs help. This is not a normal person.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman said he and many people in his district were particularly offended that Santos lied when he said he was Jewish and that his grandparents escaped the Nazis during World War II.
And for him to make up this story that his parents were Holocaust survivors is beyond the pale. It is simply tragic and outrageous and disgusting. And I join here with my colleagues in government calling for George Santos' resignation because he cannot serve anymore.
Santos.
Two House Democrats referred the matter to the House Ethics Committee this week, and the local district attorney has said her office is investigating. If Santos, who was sworn in last week, were to resign, his district could make for a competitive special election. That might explain why top Republicans in the House of Representatives so far have not called for Santos to step aside, though House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told reporters on Wednesday that Santos would not be given a seat on any key committees.
For more on this, we are joined by Elizabeth Laris. She is an author and a political commentator, and she's joining us from Washington, D.C. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us on WION. Well, what a story. It seems like George Santos now falls in the same category as Sam Bankman-Fried, Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos, and so many others. I mean, is he even going to be effective in Washington with this reputation? Well, although some say that he actually belongs right in Washington, but all kidding aside, what do you make of all of this?
He's a seat. He is a Republican seat in the House of Representatives that the Republicans need very much now. Republicans only have about a 10-seat majority, and so they really don't want to lose that seat. Even though his Democratic challenger, Zimmerman, is calling for like a redo, let's do this over. Let's see how far that goes. But I don't think that, Kevin McCarthy really wants to lose this seat. So he's going to lie a little bit low on this and then see how the more local waters play out on this one.
Yeah, it's very interesting because those that do support him say, well, at the end of the day, he lied about his status on his resume and he hasn't broken any lies. But then, as we dig deeper, it seems to go beyond that. For example, where did he get the $700,000 that he got loaned for his campaigns? And then there's these campaign finance issues. When it gets to that point, will he be able to survive, or do you think he'll still continue to have the backing of at least some of his Republican colleagues?
If it can be established that he broke finance laws, campaign finance laws, and other laws, then that's a whole nother ball game. Lying to Congress is not a criminal offense. And, you know, as you said, people do it in Washington with some frequency. But when it gets into actually breaking, laws, that is a different situation, and he can be hounded for that. The problem with him, staying in Congress is he's just a lightning rod for all kinds of criticism. He will be ostracized. Could you imagine his staff, working for him? I think he's going to find it to be a really, really chilly environment, because the question is, who's going to reach out? What Republicans are going to be seen as reaching out to him, and then what Democrats are going to reach across the aisle to work with him. So that's a bit of an issue as well.
Right. And then we have this situation where many are wondering whether or not the Republicans will be able to come close with one another and be able to unite and work together in the House of Representatives and then reach across the aisle, as you mentioned as well. Just on a broader scale, how do you see the House of Representatives working together and moving forward with the Republicans and Kevin McCarthy having the gravel?
Well, part of the problem with having Santos stay is that it's really hard for the Republicans to turn around, the Republicans on the ethics committee, and say Democrats bad, like you did something wrong, you did something bad. Because the Democrats would just come back and say, oh gosh, you left Santos on there. What are you talking about? And so I think that kind of hurts, Republican credibility perhaps a little bit. But regardless of Santos going forward, it's going to be a pretty tough year, I think, for legislation because the Republican majority is relatively small. Now, it's not any smaller than the Democrat majority was in the last Congress. But now we have split government. The Senate is held very thinly by the Democrats, and then the White House by the Democrats. And so that's a recipe for gridlock. So I don't expect big advances in legislation this year.
Thank you so much for joining us on WION, and we hope you come back again soon for another discussion.